Rick, and in this video we'll learn standard notation with the pentatonic scale guitar solo trainer. So let's go to page 17 in the book, and if you already know this information you can skip to the next video. If you've never learned it or it's been a while, like maybe elementary school, you may want to watch the whole video. So let's learn how standard notation is arranged. First, we have the staff, and that is the 5 horizontal lines and the 4 spaces in between each line. Next, we have the treble clef, the little drawing to the left of the staff. Now, this means whatever notes and symbols we put on this staff, you can play it on the guitar and other instruments too. Then we have the bar lines, and those are the vertical lines that separate the measures. And we're actually going to measure something in those measures. We're going to measure how many counts there are between each bar line. So what tells us how many counts is the time signature, the number 4 on top of the number 4. The top number 4 tells you each measure gets 4 counts. Now, we'll talk about 2 different kinds of notes, the quarter notes and the whole notes. The quarter notes look like golf clubs, and we say they get 1 count each, just like we've been doing all along. Every time we count to 1, 2, 3, 4, we play a note on each one of those counts. The whole note looks like a donut, and we say the whole note gets the whole measure, so it gets all 4 counts. So that means when we count a number 1, we play the whole note, and we don't do anything else but count 2, 3, 4 until the next measure. I'll play the example here on page 17, and you can hear how different the quarter notes are from the whole notes. I'll count myself in like usual. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll play that one more time so you can get a feel for quarter notes and whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, very good. Let's go to page 18 and talk more about the staff. We usually say that the spaces are called F, A, C, E, and the lines are called E, G, B, D, and F. Sometimes our music teachers tell us to remember face and every good boy does fine. I think it's also good to know that it's really just alphabetical order that these letters go in. Starting on the lowest line, we start with E and then go to F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and finally F at the top line. And remember, we only use the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G in the musical alphabet. So the staff really just goes in alphabetical order. So that means each space and each line has a letter name. So if we put a note on those lines or those spaces, they take the name of those lines or spaces. For example, if we put a quarter note on the E space, that note is now called an E quarter note. If we put a note on the B line, that note is now called a B. If we put a quarter note on the G line, that note is now called a G quarter note. And if we put a quarter note on the E line, that note is now called an E quarter note. Same with the whole notes. If we put a whole note on the C space, that is now called a C whole note. And finally, if we put a whole note on the A space, that note is now called an A whole note. So that's how that's how the notes get their names from either the line or the space that they're on. Now, if you count the lines and the spaces, that only gives us 9 notes. And if you look at your fretboard, there's a lot more than 9 notes that we have available. So we can put notes above the staff or below the staff. So let's see how we do that. If we consider the area above the F line another space, we can put a note there and call it G. Then we can put a line above that G space and call that an A. Then we can put a note above that A line and call it a B. Then we can put another line above the B space and call that a C. And we can put a note above that C line and call it D. We just keep going up the alphabet. The same can happen for going below the staff. This time we go in reverse order on the alphabet. So if we put a note below the E line, we can call that one a D. Then we add a short ledger line below the D space and call that a C. Then we can put a note below the C line and call that a B or B space. Then we can put another ledger line below the B space and call that an A. And we can put a note below the A line and call that a G. Now, we'll use standard notation in our next practice, and we've really been doing this all along, so it's going to be much easier than you think. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next video. Bye for now.